In this How to Use WordPress tutorial, we'll provide you with an introduction to WordPress for beginners to help you get familiar with the fundamentals of WordPress. This WordPress tutorial for beginners will cover what WordPress is, how it can be used, the process of installing WordPress, as well as the practical aspects of installing themes and plugins and creating and managing content, including posts, pages, menus, and widgets. We've created a step-by-step post that accompanies this video that you can follow along with on the Oaklyn website at oaklyn.com. There will be a direct link in the description below. In that post, you'll find the written instructions as well as any links mentioned in this video. So I would recommend opening the post up in a new tab and following along. We've broken this tutorial down into 8 sections. These include what is WordPress, how to install WordPress, an overview of the WordPress dashboard, understanding the WordPress settings, how to create and manage users in WordPress, how to amend the appearance of a WordPress website or blog, how to add additional functionality, and how to create and manage content in WordPress. The various sections will be timestamped in the description below to make it easy to navigate through this tutorial. For a step-by-step tutorial on how to create a WordPress website or blog, check out one of our free tutorials on the Oaklyn website or on our YouTube channel. We'll also add any related videos in the description below. You'll be able to follow along with this tutorial and set up your own WordPress website or blog. We've added some discount links for hosting and themes that you can access in the description below or on the Oaklyn website here. So let's get to it. Firstly, what is WordPress? WordPress is what's referred to as a content management system, or CMS for short. The objective of a CMS is to take care of the technical aspects of web publishing, allowing the user to focus on creating great content. WordPress is open source software, meaning that it isn't owned by a specific individual or organization and is free to use, improve, or extend. You can use the WordPress software in a number of ways. However, the 2 most common ways of creating a publicly available WordPress website are via the hosted or SaaS version, WordPress.com, or the self-hosted version, WordPress.org. In addition to the 2 primary versions for creating a WordPress website or blog, you can also install WordPress locally on your PC or Mac. Let's explore the 3 most common ways of leveraging the WordPress software. Firstly, you could install WordPress locally. To install WordPress locally on your computer, you will need to download a tool like MAMP. Once you've downloaded MAMP on your computer, you'll download the latest version of WordPress from WordPress.org and install it on your local host. We'll put together a post and video on this shortly. Then there is the hosted version of WordPress, referred to as WordPress.com. The hosted or SaaS version of WordPress allows you to leverage the WordPress software without needing to concern yourself with domain and hosting management. Your site is hosted by WordPress.com, which will make getting started a lot easier for some. However, the trade-off is that this platform enforces a number of restrictions that impact the design, functionality, and flexibility of your site. The most popular option, though, is the self-hosted version, referred to as WordPress.org. The self-hosted version of WordPress removes all these restrictions. However, you will need to secure your own domain and hosting and install WordPress on your desired domain. This will be a new experience for a number of users. Fortunately, we have created a number of free WordPress tutorials that walk you through this process step by step, and we'll cover this off quickly for you now. To install WordPress, you will need to secure your domain and set up hosting for that domain. We'll go through the steps of how to do that now and give you 2 hosting options as well as provide discount links for each option. Your domain or URL is the web address for your website and is what users will type into their browsers to access your site. For Oaklyn, it's oaklyn, oaklyn.com. Pick something that's relevant and memorable. Hosting is the process of storing the content and data of your e-commerce website on a web server and serving it to users. For this tutorial, there's 2 options to choose from, and we'll quickly walk you through getting started with each. The first is the cheaper shared hosting option through Bluehost, and the second is the premium option through WP Engine. We use both providers. Oaklyn is hosted on WP Engine, and our demo sites are hosted on Bluehost. There are discount links to each option below and on the Oaklyn website. Firstly, for those of you who want to go with the cheaper option, let's register your free domain and set up hosting with Bluehost. For those that want to go with WP Engine, skip ahead to the next section and follow the instructions. There's a link in the description below that gives you access to discount hosting through Bluehost, as well as a free domain name. If you're following along on the Oaklyn website, you can click on this button here to get access. Here is the list of the types of domains that are included for free, some of which include .com, .online, .store, .net, .org, .co, or .club. Now, if you've already purchased your domain or you want to purchase an alternative top-level domain such as .shop, or you want a country-specific domain such as .co.uk or .com.au, you can purchase that domain through a registrar like GoDaddy, Crazy Domains, or any other domain registrar. I'll add some links below. If you go with that option, or as I mentioned, if you've already secured your domain name, all you'll need to do is then change what's called the domain name servers to point at Bluehost, which will be your hosting provider. Fortunately, we've written an article and a step-by-step guide on how to do this. I'll add the links to these guides in the description box below. For the Bluehost option, we'll take care of both registering your domain and setting up hosting as well as installing WordPress together. So to do this, follow the Bluehost link in the description below, or if you're on the Oakland website, follow this button here. Bluehost is an affiliate partner of Oakland, so by using those links, not only do you get access to discount hosting and a free domain, but they'll set aside a few dollars from their marketing budget to help fund future free videos like this one. So we appreciate you using the link provided. If you plan on creating an e-commerce website and want to process credit card payments on your site, you'll need an SSL certificate. Alternatively, if you just want to process payments externally via PayPal, you won't need an SSL certificate. If you're going to use PayPal as your sole payment gateway, you can go with the standard shared hosting plan and click the Get Started Now button to select your hosting plan and register your free domain. If you want to accept credit card payments on your site, then under the hosting option in the menu, click on WooCommerce Hosting and then Get Started Now. Check out our tutorial on how to create an e-commerce website if that's what you want to do, as we'll take you through the steps of how to do it. The link will be in the description below, on the Oakland website, and on our YouTube channel. Regardless of which option you went with, you'll then select the plan that's right for you. If you intend to have just the one domain, then the first option will be fine. Alternatively, if you want to have multiple domains on the one hosting account, then you'll need to select one of the other plans. You can always amend this down the track. The great thing is that you get a 30-day money-back guarantee on either plan, so you can get started risk-free. For this example though, I'll go with the middle option. To get your free domain name, you'll enter the desired domain name for your website, blog, or online store into the new domain field. Select the domain extension, for example, .store, and hit next. If the domain name isn't available, you'll get an error message and will need to either select an alternate domain name, try to contact the owner of the domain to purchase it from them, or select another top-level domain extension. If you've already purchased your domain name, enter the domain name in the transfer domain field and select next. Remember to review the article on how to change the DNS records to point at Bluehost. To set up your hosting account, enter in the required account information here. In the package information section, choose your desired hosting term and domain add-on preferences. I recommend selecting domain privacy protection so that your personal information that's associated to your domain isn't publicly available. This is optional, of course. Once you've entered the required information, add your payment details, review the terms, and select submit. Once you've done that, you'll be taken to this page here. You'll have been sent a confirmation email to the designated email address on the account. You'll need to create a password for your hosting account. To do that, click on Create Your Password. Make sure to pick a secure password. You could use the Suggest Password tool to help you with this. Once you've entered in your password, review the terms of use and select Next. You'll then be able to log into your Bluehost dashboard. As part of the new Bluehost offering, WordPress will automatically be installed on your new domain. If you've registered your domain elsewhere, you'll need to amend the DNS records to point at Bluehost and install WordPress using the Bluehost one-click WordPress install. For the steps on how to do this, review our article on the Oakland blog. The direct link will be in the description below. You can choose to install one of the free pre-selected WordPress themes on your domain. For this tutorial, we'll use a premium WordPress theme. So in this case, we'll just select skip this step. WordPress will now be installed on your domain. To access the backend of your WordPress website, click Start Building. This will prompt a guided tour, which you can choose to run through or not. We'll go through this in our tutorial, so I'll click I don't need help. This will take you to the Bluehost tab within the backend of your WordPress site. To access your WordPress dashboard, click on Dashboard in the menu on the left. There will be a number of notifications that you can action or dismiss by clicking on the X in the top right corner. You can amend what's visible on your dashboard by clicking on the Screen Options drop-down in the top right and checking or unchecking the boxes. A number of additional plugins will be installed. You can view these by hovering over Plugins in the admin menu on the left and selecting Install Plugins. In addition to the standard WordPress plugins, Bluehost will install Jetpack, Mojo Marketplace, Opt-in Monster, and WP Forms. You can leave these active or choose to deactivate and delete these plugins. I'll leave this up to you. I'll delete mine as I like to use as few plugins as possible. This can be done in bulk by selecting the checkbox next to the plugins, choosing Deactivate from the Bulk Actions drop-down, and then clicking Apply. I'll then delete all the selected plugins. Then return back to my WordPress dashboard. If I enter in my domain name, I'll see that WordPress is now installed. Finally, enter the admin username and password you created earlier and select Login. Congratulations, you officially have a new website. For those that have gone through registering your domain and setting up hosting with Bluehost, you can move on to the next step, which will be an overview of the WordPress dashboard. Click on the timestamp in the description below to skip ahead. For those who want faster hosting or more consistent hosting and want to go with a premium hosting solution, we'll go through the steps of setting up hosting with WP Engine. As part of the Oakland community, you're entitled to a discount by following the link provided, which is either in the description box below, or if you're following along on the Oakland website, you can click on this link here. That will take us to the WP Engine site. We'll scroll down until we see the different plans. If you just want to set up a single website, the personal plan will be fine. You can always add additional domains at any stage. However, if you're going to manage multiple websites, then you may want to look at the other plans. For this example, we'll go with the personal option. That will take us through to this page here. By selecting the annual option, we get 2 months free. And in addition to that, through being part of the Oakland community, you get access to a 20% off coupon on top of that. To get access to that, click the link provided or enter Oakland, ohklyn.com/go/WP-engine, which will take you through to the WP Engine site and include the discount. If for whatever reason the discount code doesn't carry across, then sign up for our newsletter and you'll be sent a welcome email with the WP Engine discount code included. To create your account, enter your email, account name, select which data center you want to use. There are a number of options to choose from. Pick the location that's closest to you or your intended audience. Then input your name, scroll down to the billing information and add your billing info. Review the terms and conditions, and then click on Create My Site. Once you've done that, your WP Engine portal will be in the process of being built. You can confirm the details here. The plan details are on the left-hand side, and your billing information is on the right. If we scroll down, we'll see the details of our account and username. Our password will be sent to our email account, and then below that, we've got the details of our URL. On the Oakland website, there's a link to a video that goes through how you complete your setup process, so I'd recommend clicking on that to finalize your account setup. The cool thing about WP Engine is you won't need to install WordPress. They do that for you. There are some tools to help you with getting started, so if you need to migrate an existing site, then there's tools to help you with that. The best thing about managed hosting is that you've got full support. So if there's anything that's unique or you're struggling with anything in particular, you can contact them directly and they'll be able to help you through the process. You will have received an email from WP Engine. Follow that link through to enter your password, and that will take you to your WP Engine portal, which looks like this. Pause this video, and once you've pointed your domain's A record at WP Engine and WordPress is installed for you, we can continue on to the next section. Once again, follow the link on the Oakland post here to the video on how to point your domain's A record at WP Engine and finalize your hosting setup. I've installed WordPress in a development environment. It's a clean WordPress install, so it should look the same. If it's slightly different, don't worry. The fundamentals will all be the same. I do a lot of WordPress website and blog development for clients and prefer to work in a staging or development environment before pushing a site live. However, it isn't always necessary, and for the purpose of this video, we'll build your website on the live site. Okay, so the WordPress dashboard or admin panel is broken down into 3 main sections. At the top, we have the WordPress toolbar. The menu or admin menu is located on the left-hand side, and the main admin area is in the middle, where we'll do most of our work. I'll give you a brief overview of each section now. If you want to take a deeper look, then check out our Introduction to WordPress for Beginners guide and video. The WordPress toolbar at the top is dynamic and adjusts the available options depending on which page you're on and if you're viewing the page from the front or the back end. From the left, you have the WordPress logo that acts as a drop-down to provide information about WordPress and some useful links. Next is the site name. When clicked, this will navigate you to the front end of your website. If a newer version of WordPress is available or any plugins on your site need updating, a conditional button will appear here next to your site name. You then have a count of the comments held for moderation. Next is the new button. Hovering over this will give you options to create a new post, new media item, new page, or a new user. On the right-hand side, you have Howdy, and your name followed by a dummy avatar, which can be updated via gravatar.com, which stands for Globally Recognized Avatar. We'll update this later when we customize your website. By hovering over your name, you can access your profile information and settings, as well as the logout button for your website. If we click on the site name, that will take us to the front end of your website. Yes, it's uninspiring at the moment, but that will soon change. You'll see that the toolbar options have changed. From the left, we still have the WordPress logo as before. However, if we hover over the site name, you have more navigation options. You can head back to the dashboard, manage your theme, widgets, and site menus. Next to the site name is the customization option, which takes you to your theme customizer settings. We'll go through this in more detail later. If we click into a post or page, you'll see that we now have the option to edit the post or page. By clicking on Edit Post or Page, you will be taken directly to the back end of that post or page to make edits. This is a powerful feature and one that will save you a lot of time. When you add additional plugins, and with some WordPress themes, you will also have additional features within the toolbar. Okay, so back to our main dashboard. The admin menu located to the left of your dashboard is separated into three main sections. Those are the dashboard section, the content management section, and the site administration section. The dashboard section provides easy access to the dashboard, updates, and additional plugin features. The content management section is where you create and manage posts, pages, media items, comments, and additional plugin features. The site administration section is where you configure the design and appearance settings for your website, including selecting the active theme for your website, creating and managing menus, widgets, and customizing your website's theme. It's also where we manage plugins, users, control global WordPress settings, and activate theme and plugin extensions like SEO, social sharing, theme-specific settings, and security. We'll go through some practical examples for each of these in the coming sections once we upload our theme and start working with content. For a more detailed overview, see our Introduction to WordPress for Beginners guide or video. The menu is fully responsive, meaning that as the screen size gets smaller, the menu adjusts to remain accessible on all types of devices. Lastly, the main admin area serves as our primary workspace and adjusts depending on what's selected from the admin menu. I'll draw your attention to the Screen Options tab in the top right corner. When you open this tab, you'll see a list of options and features that are available for display depending on which page you're on. Similarly, the Help tab to the right shows you helpful hints for the page that you're on, as well as links to relevant documentation. The first thing I always do when setting up a new WordPress website or blog is adjust the global WordPress settings. So let's do that first. To do that, from your dashboard, hover over Settings in the admin menu, and you'll see the 6 default WordPress settings. With certain themes and additional plugins, you'll have access to additional options here. However, the default global settings will be General, Writing, Reading, Discussions, Media, and Permalinks. Let's go into General. At the top, this is where you manage your site name and tagline. You can also manage this from within your theme customizer, which we'll cover off in a bit. The WordPress address and site address are more advanced options and relate to the location of the WordPress software. Changing these can bring down your site if you don't know what you're doing, so we'll leave this as is. Below that is the admin email address, and by default is the email address you use to set up WordPress. This email will be used to notify the admin user of any changes on your site, such as automatic updates, registration of new users, etc., and can be amended here. The membership option allows anyone to sign up to your site, and while it has a very specific function, it is a dangerous option. I would encourage you to leave this unchecked. Below that, you can choose the default user role, choose your site language, time zone, preferred date and time, and which day of the week your week starts on. If you commit any changes, you will need to hit Save Changes at the bottom. The next tab is Writing. The writing settings allow you to set a default post category and post format for your blog posts. You can also enable the ability to post to your blog via email, which is a cool feature, but not something we're going to cover in this video. On the Reading tab, you're able to amend the front page display or set a home page for your website. For most websites, you'll want to design and set a specific page as your home page, which you would do by selecting the static option and choosing the page you want from the dropdown. Later, we'll upload demo content to set one of the homepage layout options from the demo site. Alternatively, you can create a new page, use the builder and shortcodes to create the layout you want, and set that as your homepage. We'll set our post page as our blog page, which we'll do later. This is the default page where our blog post will show up. You can also manage this from within the theme customizer. Next, you can amend how many posts are showing on index pages of your website, which would include the front page, any category or archive pages, etc. By default, this is set to 10, but you can show as many as you like. The next option relates to syndication feeds or RSS feeds and isn't something you'll likely use. The next option relates to what's included in a feed and isn't overly relevant. At the bottom, however, is the discourage search engines from indexing this site checkbox, which prevents your website from being indexed by search engines like Google. You'll leave this checked while you build out your website, but once you're ready to go live, you will want to uncheck this box so that your website can be found on Google, etc. Once again, save any changes. Discussions is where you manage how and when comments are displayed on your site and how users can interact with comments. These will change depending on your preferences. However, I'll walk you through my preferred options and explain the reasons why. For more info, review the documentation for each option under the Help tab. Under default article settings, I'll uncheck the first two options as these are legacy options and have been somewhat exploited. I'll leave allow people to post comments on new articles checked. If you want to disable comments on future posts, you would uncheck this option. Next is other comment settings. I highly recommend leaving comment author must fill out name and email checked. This will help avoid spam comments and general trolling. The following option relates to the membership option we talked about earlier, and if the user needs to be registered to comment. You can prevent people from commenting on older content by closing comments on articles older than a specific number of days. You can enable nested replies to comments and set the level of depth. I typically leave this as is, but check and see what this looks like on smaller devices, as it can impact the design and user experience if there's too many levels of nested comments. If your site gets lots of comments, you will want to enable the break comments into pages option so that your page doesn't become overrun with comments. Lastly, you can change the order of how comments appear, with oldest or newest at the top of the page. You then have some notification settings, which you can amend to suit you. Below that, you can choose to either approve every comment manually, which may be tedious, but will ensure you only post welcome comments, and/or the option to automatically publish comments, provided the author has a previously approved comment. I would advise against turning both of these off, as your site will likely be inundated with spam. I tend to leave the settings as they are. Next, you can automatically hold comments for moderation if they have greater than X number of links in the comment. Links are indicative of spam comments, and I generally set this to 1. However, you can leave this as is or set it to whichever you want. At the very bottom of the page, you can amend the comment avatar settings, set the rating for the avatar, and pick the default avatar that is displayed whenever someone commenting doesn't have an avatar linked to their email. If you've made changes, select Save Changes. Media settings are where you can amend the default image sizes that are created by WordPress anytime you upload an image. Generally, these settings won't need to be amended, and if it's required, your theme documentation will advise you on the appropriate settings. By default, WordPress organizes your media uploads by date. To amend this, you can uncheck this box, otherwise leave this checked. Finally, permalinks is a setting we will adjust, as it relates to how permalinks or URLs are created on your website. By default, this is set to day and name to reflect a journal. However, I would recommend changing this to post name, as it will clean up your URL string to represent the post, page, or product name. This is the most common option and is arguably a preferred option from an SEO perspective. Set whichever you want, but try not to change this later, as it will break your URLs. We'll leave the category and tag base blank. Remember to save any changes. Now that we've covered off the global WordPress settings, let's quickly look at how you manage users on your site. You may want to set up contributors to your website or bring on an editor or shop manager, and the users panel is where you do that. From your dashboard, hover over users in the admin menu. Your options are to view all users, add a new user, or view your profile. Let's view your profile first. This is the admin user that was created when you installed WordPress. At the top, you can disable the visual builder for posts and pages. When you're new to WordPress and don't have a working knowledge of HTML, I would keep this unchecked. Next, you can amend the color palette for your backend dashboard. You can enable keyboard shortcuts. To learn more, click on the link. Below that, you can disable the toolbar when viewing your site. Here, you can add your first name, last name, and nickname, and then choose how you want the name to be displayed publicly as the author of published posts. Next is the email address associated to your user account. This is also associated to your Gravatar, which we will set up in a moment. You can enter in a website address associated with this user account. Below that, you can add an author bio that will typically show up under the post along with the user Gravatar and display name chosen above. To set your Gravatar image, open the link here in a new tab. You will need a WordPress.com account for the email address used for the user account. If you have one, log in. Otherwise, create a free account. You'll be sent a confirmation email. To activate your account, follow the link in the email and then sign into Gravatar. Click on Add a new image and choose the image source. I'll choose to upload one. Crop the image if needed. Set the rating for your avatar, and you're all set. Below that are some general account management settings related to your password and account access. Remember to click Update Profile to save changes. Under the All User tab, you can view and manage all users of your website, including deleting users and amending access levels and user settings by clicking into the user account. That will take you to the screen we were just on for that specific user. To create new users, click on Add New, enter the new user's information, and set a password. You can choose to send an email notifying the user of their new account. The most important option though is selecting the user role. Subscriber is the lowest level of access and are created when someone registers to your website. With this access level, they can only see and manage their own user profile. Contributor is the next level of access. They only have the ability to create, edit, and delete their own unpublished posts. They are unable to upload or edit media, publish posts, or edit or delete their posts once they've been published. Author has the same access as the contributor, except that they are able to publish, edit, and delete published or unpublished posts, as well as upload media items. Editor has a greater level of access, including all of what the author has, plus the ability to view, edit, delete, and publish other users' posts, as well as manage categories and comments. Administrator is the highest level of access and has full control over your site. Be careful who you assign this role to, as they have the ability to change everything, including user accounts. When we install the WooCommerce plugin, 2 new user types will be created. Customer, which is created when someone checks out on your site. This allows them to view order details and order history, as well as edit their customer account. The other user type is Shop Manager. If you decide to hire someone to manage your online store, you can assign this access level. This will allow them to edit the WooCommerce settings, products, and view WooCommerce reports. It has the similar level of access to the editor role. Once you've chosen the appropriate level of access and entered the user's information, select Add New User. What will have the biggest impact on the appearance of your WordPress website or blog is the theme you decide to use. A WordPress theme will take the content you create and represent it in dramatically different ways. So, what is a WordPress theme? A WordPress theme is a group of files that work with the underlying WordPress software to enhance the design and functionality of your WordPress website or blog. To learn more, review our What is a WordPress Theme article. To find the right WordPress theme for your project, check out the WordPress theme review section of the Oakland blog to see the best rated themes by niche, or view our article on the best WordPress theme providers and marketplaces. There are both free themes and premium themes that you can use for your website. The main benefits of using a premium theme is access to support, the inclusion of more extensive theme documentation or instructions, extended functionality, and access to demo content, and often a one-click demo content importer, which for around $50 to $100 is good value. Premium support packages can cost $50 per month, so the fact that this is included in a premium theme makes it a smart investment. Let's cover off on the steps of how to install a WordPress theme. Firstly, we'll cover the steps of how to install a free WordPress theme. From your WordPress dashboard, navigate to Appearance, Themes, select Add New, and either search or browse for the theme you want. Once you've selected the theme you want to use, select Install, then Activate. Now, let's take a look at the steps to upload and install a premium WordPress theme. The first step is to purchase and download your premium WordPress theme. This will be in the form of a .zip file. We recommend either Themify, Elegant Themes, or CSS Igniter. There's discount links to each provider in the description below, or on the Oakland post here. Sign up to our newsletter to get a 30% discount for Themify and other providers. Once you've downloaded your theme, a .zip file, from your WordPress dashboard, navigate to Appearance, Themes, and choose Add New. Select Upload Theme, click on Choose File, and navigate to the .zip file for the theme you want to upload. Hit Open, then Install Now. Once it's done, you'll get a confirmation message stating that the theme installed successfully. Select Activate, and you're all set. Let's take a look at plugins and how you can extend the core functionality of your website. As we mentioned, a WordPress theme will have a significant impact on the look and feel of your website, as well as its core functionality. However, you're able to add additional functionality to your WordPress website or blog by installing plugins. Okay, so what is a WordPress plugin? Plugins are used to extend the core functionality of WordPress, allowing you to customize your site in a number of unique ways. The most common plugins include contact forms, chat, security, e-commerce, SEO, caching, and performance plugins. Let's take a look at how you install a plugin. From your WordPress dashboard, hover over Plugins in the admin menu and select Add New. Search for the plugin you want to install, or upload a plugin by selecting Upload Plugin and selecting the plugin file. Hit Install Now, Then activate. With plugins, you always want to check the number of active installs, the star rating, and the number of reviews, when it was last updated, and if it's compatible with your version of WordPress. Okay, so we've covered off on the more technical aspects of setting up and configuring a WordPress website or blog. Let's take a look at how you create and manage content in WordPress. To do this, we'll explore the content management section of the admin menu, starting with posts. Posts are used to publish any blog content and are associated with a category or grouped within a specific topic. By default, posts are displayed in reverse chronological order, with the more recent and relevant content visible immediately for users. If you hover over posts, you'll see the 4 default WordPress options are All Posts, Add New, Categories, and Tags. All Posts is where you'll manage your posts, and we'll take a good look there in a minute. Add New is how you create a new post. You can also create a new post by hovering over New at the top within the WordPress toolbar and selecting Post. Categories is where you'll create and manage categories for your blog. We can also create new categories from within the post editor, which I'll show you in just a moment. Categories can be hierarchical. For example, you might have fashion as a category and casual as a subcategory of fashion. Tags allow you another way of adding commonalities to posts. Let's click on All Posts and dig a little further into posts. At the top, you have the option to create a new post by clicking on Add New. Below that, you have the count of posts by status. Initially, you will only see all and published. As you create more content, you will often have posts in other statuses like draft, pending review, sticky, which means a post that you've pinned to the top of your blog, or trash. Below that, you can bulk edit and trash multiple posts, and next to that is the option to filter posts by publish date or category. Below that is your post workspace, which shows all your current posts. From left to right, you will see the post title, author, category or categories, tags, comments, and published or last modified date. Plugins and certain themes will add additional columns to this section. With a clean WordPress install, there will be a dummy Hello World post. To edit a post, you can either click on the post title or the edit button to jump into the edit post section. You can also select quick edit, which allows you to edit certain aspects of the post, such as the title, categories, status, etc. To delete a post, select trash. This doesn't permanently delete a post, rather moves it into the trash status or folder. If you click on the trash link here, this will take you to all posts that have been trashed. From there, you can either permanently delete the post or restore the post, which will revert the post back to its previous status. Let's jump into the post and run through the available options. This is the same view you'll see whenever you create a new post. On the left-hand side of the workspace is where we manage the post content, and the right-hand side is where we manage the post admin info and post meta. We'll start with the left-hand side. At the top of the workspace is where you enter the post title. The permalink below that is automatically created once you enter the post title. This can be amended by selecting Edit. Below that is the main content panel and looks very similar to a word processing application and functions very similarly. Some themes will be equipped with a page builder to help create more diverse layouts. When it comes to adding content, there are 2 views. The visual editor, which tries to replicate what it will look like on the front end of your site, and the text editor, which strips all the formatting and relies on HTML to mark up or format the text. The visual editor is most common for beginners, whereas the text editor is preferred by those with a working knowledge of HTML. In the visual editor, you have a row of formatting options, similar to what you'll find in a word processing application. You can expand the options available by clicking on this toggle here. You can either create and format content directly from within the post editor or copy in content from an external document like Google Docs. If you copy and paste content in, you will need to paste the content in as unformatted text. To do this, either select the Paste as Text option from the formatting bar or paste it directly into the text editor tab. If you prefer to write your post from within WordPress, you can leverage the distraction-free writing tool by clicking on this button here to help keep you focused. Let's quickly run through your options for formatting your text. To add headings or titles to your post, you'll highlight the text and select which level of heading it is. Typically, there should only be one heading 1 or H1 per page, which should be reserved for your main blog title. Headings should be used to specify hierarchy and not as formatting. You can bold and italicize text, which in HTML is referred to as strongly emphasizing and emphasizing the text. You can add bullet or numbered points to text. In HTML, this is referred to as adding an unordered or ordered list. For an unordered list, the shortcode is to type a dash followed by the text. Similarly, the shortcode for an ordered list is to type 1 full stop space followed by the text. To add another level of lists within a list, you could use the increase indent and decrease indent buttons on the bottom row. To add a block quote or pull a quote out of an article, you can click on the paragraph you want to wrap in a block quote and select the block quote option. You have your alignment options here, and next to that is the link options. To add a link to some text, simply select the text you want to make clickable. This is referred to as the anchor text, and select the Insert Edit Link button. You can then type or paste in the destination URL or link address and hit apply. Or click on the setting icon for more options. If you want the link to open in a new tab, check the Open Link in New Tab box. To remove a link, click on the link and hit the Remove Link button. You can truncate posts by including a read more tag at any given point within the article. This will control how much of the post is shown on index pages and adds a read more button. This can also be controlled globally by your WordPress theme or via the post extract within the post editor. On the bottom line, you can add a strike through your text, which edits out the text but doesn't delete it. You can add a horizontal line to a post to break up the content before the line from that which follows. You can also amend the text color, although I wouldn't recommend doing it here for an entire post. You then have paste as text, which we've talked about, clear formatting, add special characters, indent content, and undo and redo your edits. To add images to your posts, click or hover your cursor to where you want to insert the image and select Add Media. Upload or select the image you want to insert. You can add a title, caption, alternative text, and a description to your image. Different themes will treat this information differently. And select Insert into Post. If you click on the image, you can change the alignment or click on the edit icon to access more options. Within the display settings, you can select the image size and amend the link attributes of the image. Under the advanced options, you can add a CSS class, have the link open in a new tab, and amend other attributes. To add an image gallery, click or move your cursor to where you want to insert the gallery and select Add Media. Then choose Create Gallery. Upload or select the images you want to include in your gallery, and click Create a New Gallery. To amend the order of the images in your gallery, simply click and drag and drop them in your preferred order. In the gallery settings on the right, link to Media File and choose your desired image size. Once you've done that, select Update Gallery. With the theme that we'll upload next, that will mean that when you click on an image within an image gallery, it will open in a navigable lightbox. Okay, so that's how you'll add and format content. Below the content editor, there are currently no more fields. However, under screen options at the top right, you can amend the visibility of additional fields that are used to control things such as the post excerpt, author, etc. On the right-hand side, you have your publishing panel. Here is where you manage the status and visibility of a post. When you create a new post, the default status will be set to draft. Once you've added content to a new post or made edits to an existing post, you can either save the post as a draft if it hasn't been published already, or preview the post to see what your post would look like from the front end. The visibility options allow you to set a post to private, password protected, or public. You can also choose to make specific posts sticky, meaning it gets pinned to the front page of your blog. When you're happy with the post, you can select Publish to enable the post to be visible on your site. You can also schedule a post to be published at a specific future date and time. The time zone is based on the time and date settings configured in your General Settings tab. The next panel is the Post Format panel. This allows you to specify which type of post it is and style it differently. This isn't supported across all themes and can be confusing, but when used effectively is a nice feature. The Categories panel allows you to assign a post to a category or categories. You can also create new categories from within this section by clicking on Add New Category, entering the new category, selecting whether or not it has a parent category, and selecting Add New Category. In the Tags panel below, you can add as many comma-separated tags to your post as you like by entering them in and selecting Add. To remove tags, simply click on the X next to the tag you want to remove. Lastly is the feature image. To add a feature image, select Set Feature Image and either choose an image from the media library or upload a new image. When you've chosen the image you want, select Set Feature Image. To remove the feature image, click Remove Feature Image, and to change the feature image, click on the feature image and upload or select a new feature image from the media library. Okay, so that's pretty much what you need to know about creating and managing posts. Let's take a quick look at pages. Pages in WordPress are used for more permanent and timeless content that is likely to remain relevant for a longer period of time. For example, a homepage, about, or contact page. To create or manage pages, from your WordPress dashboard, hover over Pages in the admin menu. From here, you can either view all pages or add a new page. For now, we'll click on View All Pages. The workspace looks similar to the post section we just covered. Let's take a look at the sample page that's been created. You will use the title, permalink, and content panel on the left the same way as you will for posts, or you'll use one of the page builders that's compatible with your WordPress theme. On the right-hand side, the Publish panel and Feature Image panel are also very similar. The Page Attributes panel, however, is unique to Pages. Depending on which theme you have activated, you may or may not see the Page Templates drop down. Page templates alter the appearance of pages, such as including or removing sidebars, etc. The order box allows you to set the order of how pages appear on the All Pages tab. The media section of WordPress is where you upload all your images and other assets. It is recommended that you avoid uploading videos to your WordPress media library. Instead, use a video hosting service like YouTube or Wistia, as hosting videos on your WordPress host will drain your resources. We've already covered how to add media items directly to your posts and pages. However, you can also upload media by hovering over Media and selecting Add New. From there, you can either select the files from your computer or simply drag and drop them into the media library. Try to keep image files as small as possible, typically no larger than 500 kilobytes, as larger files will slow down your site's page load speed. If you want to upload a PDF document or something similar for users to download from your website, you can also add it in here. Once you've uploaded the document, select the URL and use that as the link destination when you insert a link to text or an image from within your posts or pages. Let's go and take a look at menus, which are the primary vehicle for users to navigate through your WordPress website. By default, every theme will have a primary navigation menu. However, many themes will provide you with the option to have multiple menus, as well as mega menus, which are very popular in certain types of blogs, websites, and online stores. To create and manage menus, from your WordPress dashboard, navigate to Appearance, Menus. Alternatively, you can also do this via the Theme Customizer by navigating to the Menus tab under Appearance and Customize. The Menus page is broken down into two tabs: Edit Menus, which is where you manage the content within your menus, and Manage Locations, which is where you can assign a menu to a specific menu location. To create a new menu, click on Create a New Menu. Give it a name, pick something that makes sense to you. Below that, you'll have the menu structure. You will first need to set a menu location for the newly created menu, which is down the bottom. Depending on the theme you're using, you may have various options. If you're creating a new menu or managing an existing menu, you'll need to add menu items from the available options on the left. To add pages to your menu, check the boxes next to the pages you want to add and select Add to Menu. You can do the same thing to add posts, custom links, and categories. Under the Screen Options panel at the top, you're able to add more options like products, tags, product categories, and product tags if WooCommerce is enabled. You also have the ability to add CSS classes to individual menu items, as well as to set the link target, which allows menu items to be opened in a new tab. Once you've added your menu items, select Create Menu or Save Menu to amend an existing menu. To learn more, check out the WordPress Codex on menus. We'll look at widgets. Widgets are components designed to serve a specific purpose that you can add to any widget-enabled area on your website, such as the sidebar or footer. Common widgets include the Search widget, Recent Post widget, Categories widget, Text widget that enables you to add text, images, links, and certain code snippets. There are often also theme and plugin specific widgets, which bring in additional functionality. You can access the widgets panel by navigating to Appearance, Widgets, or via the Theme Customizer, which can be located in the menu under Appearance, Customize, and by navigating to Widgets. To edit widgets, click on the drop-down arrow, update the widget information, and click Save. Unlike the Customizer, any changes you make will automatically be live on your website. To change the order of the widgets, drag and drop them into place. To remove a widget, simply click on Delete, and to add a new widget, drag the widget from the left and drop it into the widget area on the right. The last thing I'll show you is the Theme Customizer, which you can access by hovering over Appearance in the admin menu and selecting Customize. This will always be different depending on the theme you have installed, but is where you will amend the global theme settings, like your website header, colors, and various other layout and appearance settings. Many premium themes will also have a custom tab, where you'll be able to amend the theme settings with greater control and more available options. And that completes our WordPress tutorial for beginners. To learn more about WordPress or how to set up a WordPress website or blog, check out one of our free WordPress tutorials. For more information about anything we've covered in this post, review the WordPress documentation or the help tab from within WordPress. Depending on which theme you're using, the options will vary greatly. So remember to review the theme-specific documentation for the theme you're using. If you like this video, hit the like button and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos related to e-commerce, blogging, digital marketing, and how to run a successful website. To get access to exclusive discounts, free tutorials, and to stay in the loop on the latest happenings, sign up for our newsletter at ohklyn.com. And until next time, happy building.